Yo, what's going on everyone? It's B-RAD the man. Now, another YouTuber by the name of Jolts recently released a video of other YouTubers ranking their favorite Treyarch Zombies maps with Tier Maker, and I thought I would give my input too. Now, this list will be the maps that I personally enjoy the most, just to get that out of the way right now, because I know there will be a lot of people who will highly disagree with this list. But this is just my favorite Zombies list. But I will also be covering what I objectively think are the best at the end of the video. But first, I just want to cover what maps I enjoy the most. Now, if you end up liking this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what your rankings list looks like in the comments below. Now, with that said, let's hop into it. Alright, so we're on tiermaker.com here, and you can see that the list starts from Nocturne Toten, and it goes all the way to Firebase Z. This is before the third season of the Cold War Zombies is supposed to come out. So this list will be outdated, but it will, as of right now, this is where it stands. So we'll start with Nocturne Toten, and this is a map that I actually really enjoy, but I can only enjoy for a little bit, just because it's so bare bones that I'm not really a huge fan of it, but I don't dislike the map, so I'm going to put it in C tier. It probably could go into D tier, which, by the way, I should also mention that it's going to be S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D, and trash, because F is not good enough for some of these maps. But as far as Nocturne Toten, it's the first map ever made. I really like the map, but I can only play it for so long until I eventually get really sick of it. So I am putting Nocturne Toten in C tier. It's just a good map, but it's not one that I'm gonna absolutely play all the time. So next we got Verrucht, and Verrucht is actually one I really enjoy, and I am actually gonna put it in B tier. It's kind of weird how Verrucht, like, I like Verrucht a little bit more than Noct. One, because you got the perks, and two, there's just like with training and stuff, it's a little bit different. Like with Noct, you have like one good way of training, whereas Verrucht, you can at least, if you want to, use the entire map. But yeah, there's just something about the creepiness of Verrucht and just the strategies that can be done with it. The traps help make it a little bit better. So I like Verrucht. I like it a lot more than Noct, but I don't know, there's just something about Verrucht I really enjoy. So I'm putting Verrucht in B tier. Next we got Shino Numa, and this is just going right into D tier. I do not like this map. The mud slows you down. It's annoying. Half the map is basically irrelevant other than just grabbing perks. And this is going to be including all the versions of it. So we got the World at War, the Black Ops 1, and Zombies Chronicles. Either way, like, they're all being grouped into the same thing. But yeah, Shino Numa is just a map that I personally do not enjoy. And if you watch my One Opportunity map on Shino, you saw that I am not good at that map. So that's why I'm putting Shino in the D tier. Next we got Derice, and that's going to go into S. Just because you got camping on the catwalk, you got Pack-a-Punch, traps. This is literally the perfect map for beginners or just straight up casuals. So I really enjoy this map. We're also, just because we're sorry, the words are escaping me. The Giant isn't on here. I would also put the Giant with this as well. But yeah, so Derice just has a lot of good things to offer, especially for beginners, and that's why I really like it. So I think Derice is an S tier map. Kino der Toten, I will say this is the most overrated map. That being said, I still enjoy it, so I'm going to put it in B tier. I think it's at least worth its value of at least being a B tier. But I will also say it is one of the most overrated maps of all time. I really don't have a whole lot of great things to say about it, but I also don't really have anything bad to say about it. It's just a good casual experience, especially if you have a good amount of friends to play with. Now, 5 is a tricky one because I don't hate the map, but it doesn't really offer a lot, especially with a horrible wonder weapon of the Winter's Howl. The Pentagon Thief I really don't mind. I just wish that there was more variety of good weapons other than a ray gun and maybe a Galil if you're lucky. So I'm going to put 5 in C tier. It's not the best map in the world. It's not the worst map in the world. I do enjoy it, but I can only enjoy it for a little bit. Now, Ascension. I really love Ascension just because it gives you the space to actually do things. And I know that people really complain about the monkeys, but really they're not that big of a nuisance, especially because you only need a couple perks. You just need Jug, Quick Revive, and either some variety of either Stamina Up or PhD or Widow's Wine, depending on what version you play. But I love Ascension just because there's a lot to cover with it. So I'm going to put Ascension in S. And again, this is just my favorite list. This will be knocked down a couple pegs when we get to the objective part of the game. But yeah, something about Ascension, I just really love this map, and I think it belongs in S tier for me personally. Call of the Dead is a classic. That's going in A tier. This map has a lot of good things about it and not a whole lot of bad things to say. And granted, I've only played this a few times, but even the few times that I have played it, everything about it is just so fun. Like, this is legitimately probably one of Black Ops 1's best maps. I think it is the best Black Ops 1 map. And I know people will say that George, rest in peace, George Romero is a nuisance. I don't think so. He just basically all he does is just stop you from camping. So I love George Romero. I love Call of the Dead. I think it goes in the A tier. Then that's how much I like this map. Shangri-La. Now, I'm really inclined just to put it in D tier just because I was really struggling with this in the Zombie World Championship games. But it's really not a bad map. I will put it in C tier, and I'm going to put it just ahead of Nocturne Toten. I think Shangri-La is definitely the most beautiful looking map. I really like it. So Shangri-La, I think I'm going to leave it in C tier. But yeah, it's a good map. I just don't really have anything spectacular to say about it other than the baby gun. The baby gun is really cool, but that's really about all I got for that. Moon, I am going to put an A tier. Moon is a fantastic map. I really enjoy Moon. The only thing bad that I have to say about Moon is the fact that there's only one shortcut for as large of a map as it is. Moon is a fantastic map, otherwise, or I think it's a really, really good map otherwise. I could see it being in B tier. I could make a case for either B or A tier. I think it's just at the edge of A tier. I really love this map. So I am gonna keep it in in A tier. Transit is absolute trash. This is probably, I think it's the largest map that Treyarch has ever created. There were so many flaws. There was a shit wonder weapon. Power was very hard to get. Like, trying to activate power should not be insanely hard, and it is. And the way that they have the pack punch system makes me sick. I have not played this much pretty much ever since Black Ops 3 came out. It's a shit map. I hate Transit. I'm not ever playing Transit again. Nuketown. It's quality. It's good. It's not the best map in the world, but it's just good casual fun if you're playing on Black Ops 2. I am going to put Nuketown in C tier, and I'm going to put it just above 5. Again, it doesn't really have a whole lot to offer, and there's really not a whole lot of spaces to like train or camp or anything, but it can be chaotic fun, and I'm okay with that. So, and honestly, really the only thing I can think of that's like absolutely horrible, other than the fact of like they don't really have any good wonder weapons, is Nuketown has some really, really good what am I saying here? The one thing I don't like about Nuketown is dropping perks, but honestly, that's not that big of an issue, I think. So I'm going to leave Nuketown in C tier, and I'm going to put it just above 5. Die Rise. There's only one thing that I can say about Die Rise.
Garbage day! Huh? No!
So yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about Die Rise. Die Rise is absolutely dreadful map. I hate Die Rise. It's such a shit map. There's really nothing good about it. The only thing that I think it has that's redeeming is the Sliquifier, and that's it. There's really nothing else. There's nothing fun about Die Rise. I don't like falling. I don't like Who's Who. I don't even like the trample scheme, honestly, in this map, even though it's like the one way to get around this map. Die Rise can just burn in hell. I hate Die Rise so much. Now, Mob of the Dead, on the other hand, is clearly an S tier map. This is actually my favorite zombies map of all time. Everything about Mob of the Dead works so well. It appeals to casuals. It appeals to hardcore players. The Wonder Weapon, the Blundergat, and then going into the Vitrolic Withering is a perfect Wonder Weapon in terms of just being everything that you need. It can kill zombies. It can distract zombies. The only thing it doesn't do is kill Brutus, which kind of sucks. Which, by the way, Brutus is honestly, probably in my opinion, if not the definition of the perfect boss zombie. It's pretty dang close. I think maybe the Margwa would definitely beat Brutus in terms of boss zombies, but this map, the layout, just everything with it is fantastic. So I think Mob of the Dead is definitely an S tier and my personal favorite zombies map of all time. Now, Buried, I haven't played a whole lot, so I can't really say too much about it. I've played it a few times. It's not a fantastic map. I know a lot of people think it's probably one of the most underrated maps of all time, and I don't necessarily disagree with them. Like I said, I haven't played it a whole lot, but I'm still going to give it credit where credit is due. If I get more people to play Buried, I will definitely maybe would put it higher, but for now I'm just leaving it in B tier. Origins, this is where I'm going to probably lose some people. I do not like Origins. I think Origins is overrated, especially to the casual player. I know for hardcore players and people that play zombies all the time and like going on Easter egg quests and fetch quests, will say that Origins is one of the best maps of all time. And I don't necessarily disagree with them that it is, with layout and everything, it is obviously one of the best. But in terms of me just playing it, and like I said, normally I'm just playing by myself, but even if I am playing with people, it's not a great map. I'm putting it in B tier, but I'm putting it in the bottom of B tier. I just don't have a fun time as much as others do when I'm playing Origins. Like I said, that's just my personal opinion on that, but I don't know, take that as you will. Now, Shadows of Evil is a very, lately I've been getting into it a little bit more, and I never really truly played it that much just because it was really complicated, but over the last several weeks just playing zombies and trying to get gameplay and everything, I really feel like I slept on Shadows of Evil before, but I've really grown to like this map. I'm putting it in A tier, and I'm putting it above, yeah, I'll put it above Call of the Dead. Yeah, I think that's how I'll do it. Shadows of Evil is, like I said, to the casual player, it is not an easy map, and I can see where people will be upset with this map. To everyone else that at least has a decent clue of what to do, Shadows is a beautiful map. Like I said, I want to put it in A tier, but I just can't. I don't think it is. I'm sorry, I want to put it in S tier. It's a fantastic map, but for me personally, just because there's a lot to do, half the time I can't even find the shield, I can't find all these other things. I just basically try and wait until I can get the Apothicon Servant, and that is the best wonder weapon of all time, and easily enough for me, good enough to put it in A tier. Derizen Drac, originally at one point I would have had this in A tier, but the more that I've been playing it, again, just for gameplay's sake, the more I've been really liking it. In fact, I like it so much that I'm willing to put it as my third favorite map of all time. Horizon Drac with the bows, especially getting the storm bow, the layout works fantastic. The Easter egg is not too challenging. The wonder weapons are amazing. There's really nothing bad that can be said about Horizon Drac. I can see where people would say it's overhyped, but I think Horizon Drac is basically the definition of the perfect zombies map, hands down. Zetsubo, again, this is just one that I don't really, maybe I slept on it a lot. It's not, again, it's another collectathon, and I don't like collectathon maps, so I'm not a huge fan of Zetsubo, and that's why I'm putting it in D tier. I will put it above Shino, just because I really don't like Shino. Like I said, Zetsubo is a great map, but for me, just playing by myself or anything like that, I just don't like going on collectathons. The Masamune is a good wonder weapon, but it's not one that's not really winning any awards. So I will put Zetsubo in D tier, but I do, like I said, once I get to the other ranking, I will put it up higher. I think it definitely deserves to be higher. Garad Krovi, I know a lot of people say it's basically a harder version of Darice. Again, I'm not disagreeing with that, but Garad Krovi is just a map that I'm not particularly fond of. I'm going to put it in B tier. I think it is a really, really good map, but other than the Mark III for me, like, it's really not as fantastic as a lot of people would say it is. Like I said, I'll put it in B tier, and if I have people to play with, I will definitely enjoy it more, but you'll never basically see me running this solo. Revelations, on the other hand, is that one is probably, if you were ever going to play solo on Black Ops 3, Horizon Drac's the best solo game, and the Giant is also very good for solo players, just to kind of like have some good casual fun. Revelations is basically the definition of like all these maps put together. That being said, it is kind of, if you don't play it too much, it is rather interesting, especially if you don't know the layout of some of these other maps. Revelations I will put at the top of C tier. I think it works well, but it's not my absolute favorite. Blood of the Dead. A lot of people are really going to hate me for this, especially the Blood of the Dead haters. I don't really care what anyone says. I think Blood of the Dead is a fantastic map, and I'm putting it in A tier. It honestly, this is going to be really weird. This is the one map I can actually do Easter egg on solo. I think this is a very good layout. I understand people not liking the starting area for Blood of the Dead. I understand that people are upset that the plane is gone, and that's honestly, if the plane were back, for me, Blood of the Dead would be an S tier. I miss the plane from Mob of the Dead, but I think Blood of the Dead is one of those maps that's truly underappreciated, and it's honestly one of my favorite maps of all time. So I'm going to leave Blood of the Dead in A. It's a fantastic map. Classified is another great map. I'm putting it in B tier. I think it did everything it needed to in terms of making 5 better. With getting the shield, the Winter's Howl being a lot better. I think Classified did everything it needed to in terms of trying to make 5 even better than it originally was. The only thing that I would want otherwise is to have the original characters from 5 into Classified. I understand why, but yeah, I think that Classified is a great map, and I'm putting it in B tier. Voyage of Despair is trash. I know a lot of people are going to say that this is a fantastic map. or they would either say it's a fantastic map or it does belong in trash. Now, I don't mind either way. Like, Voyage of Despair, if it weren't so huge, and if every other section of the map, if the poop deck didn't look like the spawn area, and if the middle of the ship didn't look exactly the same, I think it would be better for me, or I would probably put it up higher. But Voyage of Despair, other than the boss fight, I really don't think there's much going on. I know a lot of people say that the Kraken's a really good wonder weapon. I don't necessarily agree. Not compared to some of the other wonder weapons that we've gotten, so I just don't like playing this map. Like, this is definitely a map that you don't want to do solo. If you had other people to play with and they can kind of help you out with this map, it's good, but it's not a fantastic map in my opinion. I don't like playing Voyage. It's just not it for me. 9 is my also goes in the A tier for me, or sorry, in the S tier for me. This is my 5th favorite map of all time. I think 9 is a perfect map for casual players in terms of Black Ops 4. Classified can kind of go in that same boat as well, but I think 9 is the starting room is the best starting room ever. I just think there really isn't anything bad with it. The map layout is fantastic. The Easter egg's not entirely complicated. You do have to burn a lot of rounds to get through the Easter egg, but 9 is good for casuals. It's good for hardcore players, and the boss fight is pretty legit as well. So I think that 9 is an S tier map. Dead of the Night, again, I don't like collectathons. I just don't like collectathons. I don't want to have to look up tutorials all the time in terms of getting everything. And like, if I have to look up a tutorial to get just the shield and then the wonder weapon and then figure out how to upgrade the wonder weapon, not once but twice, I don't like doing that. The layout of the map is fantastic and everything else is really good with it, other than the Nosferatus. Those things suck. But Dead of the Night is not a bad map. I just don't like collectathons. That's just me. I don't know. I don't like it. But as far as Ancient Evil goes, that is another A tier map. I think this is probably the peak of Black Ops 4. I think Ancient Evil was the best Black Ops 4 map in the game. I really like Ancient Evil. The gauntlets are fantastic. The layout is really good. Even the boss zombies are really good. I just think that this is like the top tier of Black Ops 4. I just don't like it as much as 9 or Blood of the Dead. But Ancient Evil definitely gets my vote. Alpha Omega is a better version of Nuketown, obviously, but this is probably the safest map that they could have had in Black Ops 4. It could have, should have been better. Alpha Omega is a really good map in my opinion. I'm going to put it in B tier just above Kino. I think Alpha just has a lot of good things with it, with the Elemental Ray Gun Mark IIs. Because that just having the Lightning Ray Gun Mark II alone really makes this map a lot better. So I think Alpha is a really good map. It's just not good enough to get anywhere into higher or get higher there. Tagged or Toten. Jolts is gonna hate me for this. I don't really care though. Tagged or Toten to me is a good B tier map, and just outside of my top 10. I think with Tagged or Toten, the only thing that I really don't like as much is the Wonderwaff sniper. I don't even know what the hell it's called, but that's the one weapon that I truly don't like in this entire map. But I think the layout is good. I like the snowy vibe to it. It makes Call of the Dead look so much cleaner, or not cleaner. It eliminates the fog. It gives you a beautiful sunset and gives you Golden Pack-a-Punch. I think that this is a map that a lot of people do enjoy or should enjoy, but I can understand where the hate comes from. Like I said, I know Jolts is gonna hate me for this one, but I don't care. I like Hector Toten. I think it's a fantastic map. And then D Machine and Firebase Z. Honestly, I'm just gonna put these both in B tier, and honestly, I'm gonna put them just ahead of Origins. I really haven't come up with a good ranking for these two maps, just because they're, again, they probably appeal more to casuals, but they're not absolutely fantastic. Like I said, they're not as collectathon-y as Origins is. I just think that they're good maps, but they're definitely not maps that are gonna be the most amazing maps ever. But this is my ranking of my favorite maps, and we are gonna go into, since I already ranked them from what I think is number 1 through last. And now I will have my map list for the objective ones. Okay, so here's the list of the maps I think objectively are the best. Not really a whole lot change in the S tier. I put Ascension and 9 from S tier down. Like I said, I'm willing to admit that Origins is one of the best maps ever. I am not an idiot. I think that it is really, really good. So I put Origins from B tier to S tier. I think it's really fantastic. Shadows is another perfect map. Ancient Evil is a perfect map. And these are basically just perfect maps in terms of everything. I just don't think Origins should get as much credit, but again, that's if you really like Collectathon, so that's why I'm putting it still in S tier, objectively speaking. A tier, Call of the Dead stays there, Moon stays there. I did move Buried, Garad, and up, and I had moved them up, and I bumped down to Recent 9. I think those maps are just on the cusp of being in S tier, but not enough to be in S tier, so that's why those ones got knocked down. And I will admit that Garad Crovy is very good, so I'm gonna give it the credit that it deserves. Zetsubo I did move up from D tier to B tier. I think it's a very good map. Like I said, I just don't like collectathons and all these other things, and the Masamune, but that's just my opinion. Ascension I think is very underrated. Still, and so is Blood of the Dead. I think those belong in B tier. Again, those ones might get me a little flack, but I don't care. I did put Dead of the Night up a rank or a couple ranks because, like I said, the layout is fantastic. It's just the boss zombies and the upgrade to the Wonder Weapon. I don't like either one of them, but I will say that the layout and everything is fantastic for that. Dead of the Night could have been a much better map. I just think that, one, they should have marketed the damn thing, and it just didn't really get get enough like love and attention to it. Also, the glitch that they have all the time in the Easter egg is annoying, so I'm not a huge fan of that. I did knock down Tag and Alpha to C tier. I think those are fair. Kino I also put in the middle of C. Revelation, Shang, and D Machine and Firebase Z I think went from B to C. But yeah, I think the C tier looks pretty good. D, I did put Voyage ahead of everything else in D tier, and I knocked down Verruct 5 and Nuketown. Knocked and Kino I left in D tier. Like I said, those maps are good, but they're not fantastic, so that's why I left them in D tier. And Trans Shit and Die Rise are in the trash, where they very much belong. So yeah, that's my objective list, but my favorite list is completely different. If you agree with my list, be sure to give me a like, or if you don't like it, you can comment below. Again, follow me on the socials. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out the other links there too. I'll have Joltz's video in the links below. And we're still doing our zombie map tournament. You can still fill everything out there. Those links will be in the description. But that is all I got, and I am gonna head out. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.